It's with great regret that I must announce to you that the penguin of the Suika card is becoming extinct. At least I like to think of it as being extinct. They're calling it retirement, mandatory retirement, or just the end of the penguin. And this has been such an iconic card. This is such an iconic mascot. I've gotten a chance to meet the Suika penguin, but the news broke just recently that the penguin is going the way of the dodo bird. A lot of you might know the penguin. I mean, I've gotten a chance to meet the penguin before. It's I don't see the beak there, but in the past it had a beak. Maybe it didn't at first. But the mascot is also emblazoned in gold in Shinjuku and a statue over there. But this penguin has been around since 2001, and now we're saying goodbye to the penguin. Let's take a look at a news story here. Here it is right here. This just broke. I want to talk about it. JR to retire the beloved Suika smart card penguin mascot in early of 2027. I thought it was next year, but we still got a little bit of time with the penguin. Look at that cute little guy. I'm gonna miss him. Scott writes in here, in place of what? I'm gonna answer that in a second. The beloved penguin mascot of the Suika smart cards used a public transportation and cashless payment in Japan will be retired in spring 2027, about a little bit over a year. Speaking at a press conference, the JR East president, who is in charge of this, JR East, Japan Rail East is the one who's in charge of the Suika card. Yoichi Kisei acknowledged that the character has significantly contributed to Suika's growth and widespread. Will be raised from 20,000 yen to 300,000 yen. That's like about, in Japanese terms, $200 to $3,000. That's a pretty big raise in the cap that can be put on this card, but it's not going to be a physical card anymore. It's going to be digital. So it makes a lot of sense to raise the cap because it's a lot more secure now. You can't really lose your card. It's all digital, stored in the cloud and all of this. So it's fascinating news, right? I mean, I never thought that I would see the day that the penguin would be gone. I figured the Suika would go, but not the penguin. So what's going to be in its place? Of course, a lot of Japanese marketing, the mascots end up going away over time anyways. One, they're kind of redundant. There's so many mascots. They could have the opposite effect sometimes, but I think JR is going to be doing it as part of a rebrand or a refresh, and the marketing behind what's going to be the next Suika mascot is going to really become a viral thing within Japan. Of course, probably utilizing a lot of people's input to create the next character, something that, I don't know, people feel more connected to. Because the Penguins was a pretty good character. 25 years, Japan East seems like it's time for a refresh. Business evolution, service changes. Suika is no longer just a transit card, it is also a broad e-money payment platform. At least that's what they want it to be. JR East is introducing a new service. Higher balance limits, mobile integration, gateless entries is what we've been seeing here. So you don't need a physical card anymore. You can just go in with facial recognition and NFC technology without actually touching anything. It'll be able to take that cash from you somehow, and a new mascot might better reflect and expand that image. So they're thinking about this long term, but the news broke and I was a little bit sad this morning. I gotta be honest with you. By inviting public participation in the new mascot selection, JR East is turning this into a marketing event. It's smart, generating interest, publicity, and engagement. And for these real radical, I would say not, I don't think they're radical, but real sudden and massive changes in the way that we use tickets in Tokyo, in Japan, they're gonna need a lot of marketing to help get public knowledge of this, because Japan is an old country. A lot of people aren't digitally savvy. So they need these kinds of events to get people to pay attention. And they do it quite well. So I think the Penguin is a victim of marketing, but was also a product of marketing. So that's probably what's going to be happening with the Suika Penguin. There's some questions here. Gojira writes in here, just missed several times while I was in Japan. For the last 3 weeks, just missed you several times. Well, I hope you can catch me, Gojira, next time. I'm not really carrying those You Found Me cards, but I might restock them. I'll think about it. Bradshaw Studio is physically impacted by that with that sticker. I see you're crying just like I am as well. I also noticed, and I'm going to point this out because I didn't realize this. Now this is at Metro. Metro has these things, and it says credit card on there, but I talked with the guy, and Metro says that they don't have credit card payments. There's two companies in Tokyo, Metro and Toei, which are the subways, but they have these here. These are for QR codes. These QR codes are for the day passes. So tourists have these passes that have QR codes that you can touch and scan. But it also apparently in the future will take credit cards. Although it says credit card there, it doesn't actually take credit cards. So the Metro is a unique thing. Now, this is Toei. Toei is, well, I'm really zoomed in there. Back up. Toei is the Tokyo City Metro run by the city, and they actually already do start to take credit cards. I was surprised by this. It's something that started this year. You can see the Amex, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Union Pay, and Discover Card. You can just tap to ride. There's 55 Toei stations that are participating in this program, so you got to be careful when you do get on in your credit card that you can get off with your credit card too. Most people are using still the Suika cards or the Passmo cards, but it's an interesting discovery that credit cards can be used now on an increasing amount of public transportation options within Tokyo. So I'm going to be monitoring this over the next 6 months and seeing how this program does evolve. But right now it's just Tokyo City and KQ. That's another transport company. Let me see here. There was a article on this in February, actually announcing this. A major Japanese credit card company plans to introduce touch payments to public transportation as early as 2026. It looks like it started even earlier than that. So it's already started. Credit card payments started with the city of Tokyo and KQ, but this was from February, and we're now at the end of the year. It's amazing how fast this program has been moving out, just because internationally, everyone's using their credit cards. I was at JFK, and I was able to use my credit card to get on the Sky train that took me to Penn Station eventually. I could get in and out with my credit card. When I got to Jamaica, which is where I changed for the express train to Penn Station. I can't remember now. I had to get a real ticket, which was digital by an app, but it was cool to be able to use my credit card. Illumin ads right in here will definitely miss the penguin. Well, my named card will be a nice memorabilia. These will be like museum items, really. They will. They're going to be like musicians. The air train, yeah. I think it's what it's called in New York City. Scott Tan writes in here, thanks for the shocking news. Will Suika payments be available on Android? Grab a beer. Well, thank you, Scott. They're going to be available, I think, at least until 2027. So you're going to be able to use these physical cards for a while longer. But if you want to use it on Android, I believe they're available. I know that Suika is available on iOS, but I believe they're available on Android. We're going to have people commenting, and if I learn this, I'm going to pin it to the top of the comment section so everybody can get this information. A lot of people are using their smartphones with the NFC in there to use it as their touch card. I still use the physical cards because I have a collection of them, but you can just use your cards. You can use Passmo or Ikoka, which is the Osaka one, or Suika. It doesn't matter. They're all on the same network. They're just regional. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Another reason why JR East, and there's a battle. This is like these IC cards. This is very much like Betamax and VHS, where people were battling to have who's going to have the dominant digital currency, right? And right now we have JR East really vying hard to get in on this, where other credit groups like Sumitomo have credit cards. They're trying to get that to be the dominant payment. So over the next several years, we're going to see, at least within Japan, which is going to be the dominant payment. But these cards are obviously going to be extinct. They came out in 2021, so they're 25 years old almost. It's an amazing technology. I think Japan was one of the first places to have this. But yeah, the news is the penguin is going the way of the dodo bird. And I hope we do have a fitting end. I will try to go to it, because I know with the Tokyo Olympics, we had a ceremony saying goodbye to the mascots. And I'm trying to get them out here. the mascots, it's always a sad thing when you say goodbye because they become a part of like everyday life, really. But I'm gonna take off this hat and put on another one. Here, you guys might remember Mirai Towa. Mirai Towa is another mascot that did not make it until the end of time. Mirai Towa had to be retired, but you know, he was part of the Olympics, and once that was done and he served his purpose, there was no reason to have him around anymore. But he lives on at the Olympic Village. You can see Mirai Towa, at least the memorabilia. Inside the Olympic Village, there's a cafe at the supermarket called Summit. And Leo and I, you might find us in there every now and then because the playground in that area is really fun. But the physical cards are available. They're available at the machines over there, but you're gonna get a Passmo. You gotta get the Suika cards is from JR, Japan Rail stations only. This is a Metro and a Toei station. So these cards are gonna come out as Passmo cards. You can get your name on it. I have my name written on it. You can also register your phone number, even the international phone numbers, which I highly recommend that you do, because if you lose it, the police will call that international number and let you know that your card's been found. And you can get back that money more often than not. WRX Turbo is in the house. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put my hat away and give the students some privacy because there's a bunch of students going by here. One of the reasons I started late was there was a line of elementary kids that went about 100 meters. There were so many kids in here. I had to wait until they shuttled out because I don't want to get kids in here. Yeah, you know, for me, the IC cards was an incredible technology that is still evolving, but I've already seen those gates and Myaku Myaku is also a mascot that went the way of the dodo bird, and maybe with good reason too. He was kind of creepy. But these gateless entrances and this new technology, it's inevitable that it's going to happen because that's the wave of the future, and they want to get people to move as fast as possible through those gates, because as the population increases, as tourism increases, a lot of these stations, especially the smaller ones, they're finding that there's bottlenecks that occur, and if we can get people in and out quicker, we can also make it a little bit safer. I know the escalators in Tokyo, they also have now rules where you're not allowed to walk on the escalators. And I'm going to do an episode on this real soon. Escalators are supposed to be no walking. So if you decide that you don't want to walk and you just want to stand on the left or the right, that is actually the proper thing to do now. Just keep in mind that there's signages all over the place and locals know this, but they still tend to, in Tokyo, stand on the left and walk up the right. Although that is changing over time. So the commuting in and out of the stations is getting a lot easier. So I think over the next 2 years, you're gonna see some big changes with that. And it starts with that Suika penguin going the way of the dodo bird. Extinct, or as they say, they're not saying retired, they're saying like he's graduating. To what? This reminds me of the Running Man. You guys ever see the Running Man? Where they show the people who graduated from the Running Man on a gorgeous beach. I bet you they put the penguin, like we were gonna find him in a deserted warehouse somewhere, like 20 years from now, and he did not get the dream retirement that we all thought, just like in the Running Man. Who's with me on this? A little bit too much sci-fi. It's one of Schwarzenegger's best movies too. I love that movie. All right, Running Man, like a show from the Running Man was a movie from the 1980s. It's one of my favorites. I want to end with this. Okay, I want to take a look at this credit card program, and I'm probably going to do another episode on this real soon. But the Toei Transportation, this is a test program that seems to be at 55 stations. Here are the stations, and you can screenshot this if you want. As another wave of passengers come out here. I want to see if I can get this done before then. But the 55 stations, and you can see that they do this, they have this touchless payment. You don't even need a Suika card anymore. You just need a touch credit card with that symbol on there. The 55 stations are here. I'm going to pause it right there. On the Oedo line, it does include Shinjuku and some of the stations around there. So if you're getting on at Haneda Airport with your credit card, you can get off on the Toei lines with your credit card at these stations. Yoyogi, Shinjuku, Daimon. These are all really big places with hotels, Ueno. And then the KQ line, which is also leaving from Narita, I believe. and the range varies. How to use it, just touch your credit card. I'm going to do an episode on this real soon to give you more of an update, but they're raising the limit of the Suika card in 2027 from 20,000 yen, which is kind of low. But I'd rather, if you lose the physical card, at least you're not losing a ton of money. You're losing like about $150. Feels like $200 to us. And they're raising that to 300,000 yen, which is, it feels like $3,000 to us, but to tourists it's like $2,200 or so. It's a big raise, but I think they're going to generate a lot of income, and they're going to be a player in this digital currency revolution, but it just won't be the penguin. So in the comments, what is your idea? You can textually describe what should the mascot look like, and don't say like Myaku Myaku, because that was a creepy mascot. Give me your image of who should replace the penguin. Should it be a better penguin maybe? What technologically advanced mascot would be better than the penguin? I don't get it. I like the penguin. My son likes the penguin. We all love the penguin. I don't even know why they picked the penguin. Melon Kuma would be a good choice, actually. And if you are a member Yoda Jedi Knight for just 99 cents, you can get what? Oh, you are right there. Okay, I see that. You can use the Melon Kuma emoji, which is the creepiest bear in the mecha penguin. Now you're thinking out of the box. I think the mecha penguin should be the choice here. Just a programming note, this postcard will be going out the day after tomorrow, so make sure you sign up to the Postcard Club up on Patreon, and you'll have a postcard in your mailbox from Japan. And this episode is now available on the main channel, separate from this channel. These are edited stories, different from the live streams you're seeing right now. It's got a lot more views than it does here, but I would love it if you hit that like button and leave a comment for me there. I'll answer it as soon as possible. Oh, here's the postcard. These are arriving today. I'm kind of excited to see them. Autumn colors from Nagano, right there. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. I hope that this news does not sadden you too much, but like all things, we must evolve. And in a city of millions here, a city that's always evolving, it's not a shocking news to me that we're saying goodbye to the Suika card, but it is a sad one. And and don't forget to subscribe, because I will be at any kind of a celebration, saying goodbye and celebrating the life of the Suika penguin, because for me and a lot of you, we have lived like a generation. We've seen some good times and we've seen some bad times over the years with the Suika penguin. And you might not be able to make it to Japan, but I'm here, and I'm going to try to go to any event where they say goodbye to the mascot, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. I'll ask JR to let me, if I can get a press pass for that, because that'd be pretty cool. Illumon Ads, thanks a lot for the support, WRX Turbo and everybody else, and I'll see you in another live stream tomorrow as I talk about a new topic, probably here in Tokyo. I do intend to go to Kyoto this month, so I'll be doing some live streams in Kyoto, maybe 2 of them, real soon, next week. I'm staying overnight in Kyoto on a scout, so stay tuned. All right, guys, mata ne.